And welcome to this bonus episode of the Entrepreneurial Clinician Podcast. I am Jo Muirhead, your host, who is coming to you from the not so sunny Blue Mountains west of Sydney today. We have certainly had our fair share of summer and its changeable weather. It's kind of gotten to that time of year where you need to have 3 or 4 different outfits around all the time because it's a bit changeable, which is kind of normal. I am really looking forward to this conversation today because it's going to have some very practical tips and ideas and insights. And I have a feeling a lot of health professionals who listen to this podcast are going to go, oh, that's why my paid advertising doesn't work. So if paid advertising is something like me that you have struggled to make work, stick around because Matteo Banzon is going to help us understand what we're kind of doing wrong and maybe how we can fix it. I mean, after all, this is a podcast. How we're going to fix everybody's individual issues, I do not know. So before we get on, I just want to acknowledge the country on which I find myself today. I am coming to you from the land of the Darug people here in the greater west of Sydney. I want to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and say a really big thank you for taking such good care of this land that I now get to call home. So Matteo, welcome to the podcast. You have been my first sponsor. Shout out to Matteo. Thank you so much for agreeing to do that for us. Well, let's get started. You're not a health professional, are you?
I wish, but I'm not, unfortunately.
So what made you decide to go, but I want to help health professionals? Like, how did you wake up one day knowing that that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah. So first of all, Jo, thanks for having me. You have a wonderful podcast here with lots of great listeners. So I feel, very privileged to be on this platform with you right now. So how did I get started in healthcare? So I've actually been doing marketing for, over 2+ years. I did it a bit in university. I realized that I wanted to work in marketing, and instead of doing the traditional path and graduating from university and actually getting a job at a marketing firm or something like that, I just started because I knew a lot about social media. I'm a lot younger than most people. So I understood like social media and digital advertising more than the average boomer, you could say. And I decided to go on my own path and try market for people. So I have worked with plenty of different types of niches. So like real estate agents, B2B companies, lawyers, like roofers, home services, everything you can think of. I have probably worked with them. And also I have probably worked in every single service as well. So I have a good base knowledge of most marketing, digital marketing that is. So like Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, website design, all these other things, email marketing. And yeah, so I was kind of just like, getting my foot in the door with all this stuff and tried bit of marketing in this niche, had some success, didn't have some success. And essentially I stumbled into healthcare. I think the main reason why I got into healthcare was because I knew I wanted to help people. And I have lots of friends who are, in university or on track to become healthcare professionals, whether that's GPs, surgeons, dentists, chiropractors, psychologists. And I guess didn't want to go through that path specifically. So I thought, hang on, how can I still get the same fulfillment of helping people without actually going through that long process? And I thought, what better way than connecting these healthcare professionals with the patients that they deserve to treat, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So that's kind of where I stumbled across healthcare, and I've been doing it ever since.
And I'm so glad you shared that story for all the listeners, because I heard that story before, and it's kind of the reason why I said, yep, that's it. You're sponsoring this. We're working together. I don't really care how, because we really didn't have it operationalized when you came on board. That was pretty, we've been working it out as we go. So we often talk about, as health professionals, particularly those of us who have our own private practice or our own business, how we went to health professional school or university to learn how to be health professionals. And then now we've reached this stage in our business building career where it's like we've got to be an operations manager and we've got to know all about marketing, but not just traditional marketing. We've got to know about SEO and digital marketing. And now I'm supposed to get on TikTok and do funny dances and like there's so it's kind of like the number of hats that we as business owners have to wear all the time it just feels like those hats, even with AI, as great as it is, it feels like I'm wearing more and more hats because now I need to be the chief technology officer who has a special interest area in AI as well, right? So to find somebody like you who's gone, clients, patients need services, health professionals need patients to provide services to. How can I bridge that gap? I guess I want to say thank you for taking that step and doing that. So what is maybe what made you then reach out and go Google Ads? Google Ads is where I want to help health professionals focus, because like you've just told us you can do a range of things. Like people heard you say website and got excited. People heard you say SEO and got excited. People heard you say email marketing and got very excited. So I want to bring you back to the thing that you've talked to me about, which is Google Ads. So why Google Ads?
So I primarily do Google Ads. And I guess when I take on a new client of mine, which is a healthcare practice owner, I always 90% of the time start with Google Ads for a reason. We do offer website design, SEO, Facebook ads as well, but usually I would always start with Google Ads. And the reason for that is very simple. The highest intent people who are wanting your service are searching on Google. Let's say I have a back pain and I want to see a chiropractor. What am I going to do, right? Am I going to, or this is if I don't have a current one already, or I don't have anyone who can refer me, I would search up chiropractor near me, or I'm in Perth, chiropractor Perth, right? And usually I would just click on whoever's first. If their stuff looks good enough and they look credible, then I will book in an appointment there. And that goes for any healthcare service, really. So whether that's a psychologist, if I have a toothache, or if I want my teeth whitened, which I recently did, and I actually searched teeth whitening near me and clicked on the first one and booked an appointment there. So that's the reason why I say Google. Now, Google, there's two ways. There's Google Ads and there's SEO, which is search engine optimization. Basically means you're trying to optimize for certain keywords organically through your website. The problem with SEO is it takes 3 to 6 months to actually see results, and you probably won't get the good rewards unless you've stuck to it for like 12 months consistently, which can be very expensive. SEO works very well. It just, I understand lots of healthcare practice owners can't really wait that long, or they're not in the position to invest in that. So that's why I suggest Google Ads, because instead of bypassing that 12-month period of trying to optimize your website, you can just pay Google to rank at the top for whatever keywords you want, whether that's dentist near me, dentist in your suburb, or even pain points that your patients have. So that's the reason why we go with Google. That being said, every single channel of marketing works. They all work. It's just, the way I see it is Google Ads is the most efficient way to get the lowest hanging fruit with the highest intent people who are ready for your services and have the funds to pay for it upfront.
Yeah, great. I really like you making that point. It's like so many of us kind of, we all feel like we're cash strapped, and many of us are, and we're not used to spending money on advertising. And we've all watched social media long enough to know that it should be easy and it should be effortless and it should be content marketing without me spending any money is just going to be the thing. Now, I know people who do content marketing and SEO, and they do it brilliantly. I've got a colleague, her name is Jodie Gale. She's here in Sydney. She is the queen of this. Like, she is so good. But like you said, it's like if you've got people who need paying clients now, do you want to wait 6 months for those clients to come in your door? I'm thinking not. And is that like when you get to explain your concept, like the reason why Google Ads to health professionals, do you find many of them go, oh yeah, I want them now? Like, is that kind of their reaction?
Yeah, pretty much. Like they've tried lots of things in the past. It hasn't worked. And then I'm like, have you tried Google Ads? And like, oh, I haven't really tried that yet. Lots of people think they don't work because, when they see a Google ad, they'll like not click it themselves. But that's just
Yes.
like 1 in 10 people, right? So the
Mm.
9 other people will click on that because that's the first thing they see on their screen when they type in dentist near me, right?
Yeah. Or back pain or
Yeah.
chiropractor or psychology. So here in Australia, what I've been teaching people to do is talk about availability. So if you've got immediate availability, that is a huge draw card right now because we just don't have enough health professionals around, right? COVID just disseminated the industry. So being able to rank for availability or get people who are like, I need a psychologist today, and your name comes up, like that's pretty cool. But 12 months in 12 months time, your whole SEO process might be wasted because you may not have availability. But yeah. So tell me how you construct a Google ad that works. Because I
There's
reckon
many,
health professionals get put off because they think it's complicated.
yeah, it is. It's simple. It's not easy, if that makes
Right.
sense. Google
Nice.
Ads is very simple, but it's not easy to get right. And the reality is like you will have to make lots of optimizations. Your whatever you come up with at the start probably won't be your winning campaign. Sometimes it is, and that's really great. But usually you'll get data and then make the right changes to your ad account based on that data. So how to construct like a good Google Ads campaign? There's many layers to it. First of all, you need to understand what are you servicing? What do your ideal clients, what are their pain points? What are they wanting in a
Mm,
service provider or a healthcare
mm,
practitioner? And you have to basically put yourself in your patient's shoes and think, if
mm,
I'm a patient with XYZ problem, and you get this data from your existing patients and yeah, just what you've seen in the past, you have to think, I'm in their shoes, what would I be searching up on Google? And these are your keywords. And there's many different layers to Google Ads keywords. I could probably speak for hours on it, and we don't have we don't have unlimited time on this podcast.
mm,
But
mm,
essentially, you want to get the lowest hanging fruit
mm,
keywords. So with Google Ads, you can get the highest intent people because they're searching for certain search terms like insert your service near me, right? That's
mm,
probably the main thing that will convert patients into bookings. But a big problem that I see that healthcare practitioners do when they do Google Ads, when I have conversations with them, is they're including keywords just like dental cost, dental prices in city, right? Like in Perth.
right.
Or these are low intent search terms. So something
Yeah.
like, yeah, how much a dentist cost? Or does teeth whitening work? Like some things like this, where in
Okay.
Google we are paying per click. So there's a misconception where a lot of people think you pay per like view or something. That's Facebook and Instagram. You pay per impression. With Google, you pay per click. So if no one clicks on your ads, then you're not paying anything. So if you're paying for
Mm,
clicks that are people, I guess like just shopping around, just getting some info, like
mm,
how much does a dentist cost? How much is teeth whitening? Does teeth whitening work? These lower search term, or sorry, lower intent keywords.
mm,
Then we're just spending money on people going on your website. Cool. A website visit is great. Brand awareness is cool. But at the end of the day, we want patient bookings. So we really want to optimize for those highest intent search terms. So if someone searches this up, they're going to book with you right then and there, right? Not tomorrow, like right then and there.
mm,
Which
mm.
you bring up the availability thing is really key. But that being said, if you provide a really good service and your website looks good and it's close to them, then they will find a time to book with you.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if they are looking for your service. It's I need this service. Am I going to go with you or someone else?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's very important that we try rank at the highest, so you have the highest chance of winning that new patient over a competitor.
Yeah.
And then you can go to the next layer, which is like the ad copy. You need to write headlines, descriptions, and really write copy that resonates with your ideal patients that gets them to take action, specifically
Mm,
ringing up the practice or booking in, booking in for an appointment.
mm,
So
mm,
there's many ways you can do that. You can test lots of different like call to actions on Google and stuff like that. But really, you can't just be writing generic stuff that would be on your website. This is like the direct response copywriting that you need people to take action for. So
That's very, let's just bring that point up, because so many of us are thinking that the day where you create a piece of free content and you share it with all the people. You put it on your website, you put it on your social media, you talk about it in your emails, and you kind of hope that people read this thing and they go, Joe's really cluey. I need to work with Joe. But that's not what happens when people are Googling, how do I get rid of back pain? I need a chiropractor today. I need a dentist today. I need a psychologist today. Like, they're not going to go and read your white paper or download your 5 videos to work out whether they want to work with you. It's like, I've got pain. I've got a problem. I need it solved. I need it solved now. So we're kind of, we're taking out all of that really hard work for everybody in the middle. It's like, I've got availability. People need help. Google Ads bring us together. It's like that whole concept of a bridge is just the easiest analogy, right?
Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing then is one of the mistakes we great health professionals who are awesome clinicians, but probably terrible marketers do, is that we think that content marketing, that old style content marketing works for Google Ads, and it doesn't. Like, would you set up a campaign to drive to a piece of free content? Like, would you set up a Google Ads campaign? No, he's shaking
Not on
his
Google
head.
Ads.
No, he's like, no, Joe.
I mean, by all means, if you have a really big budget and you're able to like just throw money into Google Ads and you're already running like these search campaigns for the highest intent keywords, and you want to, let's say you have like a free lead magnet or a free piece of content or advice or something like that you're already running Facebook ads to, you could run Google Ads to it, but it's not going to be as profitable as you think.
No, and right now I just say, don't do that. Don't like, health professionals are exhausted. We're working really, really hard. Can you just learn to manage your wait list really well? Learn to manage your cancellations really well. Like, let's just get the patients booked in or the clients booked in, and then learn how to manage the next things. Let's stop making it so friggin' hard for ourselves. And that's why I was so excited to meet you, because you just made it so simple for me. Right? Like, I was very, very real and honest with you when I said, so this is how much money I have flushed down the toilet trying to make paid advertising work. And your eyes went kind of like, Joe, that's horrible. That was really, really horrible. So we know that health professionals are probably not realistic about how much time or how much money this takes. So let's get real about dollars and cents here. If we want a campaign that is going to put clients, like have clients booking with us, do we need $20? Do we need $100? Do we need $1,000? Like, where do we start?
So theoretically, you can start as low as you want. I probably wouldn't do anything less than like $10 a day. This is on the ad spend to Google.
This is the ad spend to Google. I was just about to say the ad spend to Google, $10 a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the absolute minimum, like we recommend our clients to do at least $33 a day.
Okay.
Like at the very minimum, because then that's what makes sense when we manage it. And it's really dependent. Like, I wish I could give all you guys listening like, oh, this is how much a click is going to cost. This is how much a new patient's going to cost. But there's many different layers to it. And you can't just necessarily just throw money at Google Ads and expect a big return without many other factors like that are spot on as well. So, for example, a big thing is competition. So you're bidding on the same keywords with your competitors. If you're in a low competition place in terms of Google Ads, maybe you have high competition, but if no one's running Google Ads, then you can get really good results because you're the only one doing it, right? Another thing is search volume. So you need to see how many people search for your service per month in your area. Because if there's not a lot, then you will be spending a lot of money on the clicks. And again, you can have the best written ads and you can optimize your Google Ads campaign so well, getting the cheapest clicks for the highest intent search terms. But when people land on your website and it's unclear what you guys do, it's unclear how to book, because sometimes I see with healthcare practice owners, like their websites, the booking button's like down below. It's a tiny thing in the corner, and it's impossible to see. And then they're telling me why, their Google ads aren't working. I'm like, well, clearly, it's pretty hard to find the booking button.
Yeah,
So
and
there's
that's
all these different factors to get it right. But
yeah.
that being said, again, there's another thing about your service. Like, what a dentist, or let's do dentists. Let's say for a general cleanup, you're not going to get the same result as like a veneer job or like Invisalign or something, because they're a lot higher ticket, a lot lower volume, and it's more expensive to acquire these type of clients. So yeah.
Yeah, but then we charge more for those services as well. So that makes a bit of sense. So I'm just coming back to this whole the mismatch that happens between ads and then you direct somebody to your website and then they can't do the next thing. So I've seen I've clicked on Google Ads, I think for a podiatrist, when my son was when I needed to find something for my son, and the what we were typing was something quite specific to what he needed for his podiatrist. This ad popped up answering our question, so I'm like, oh hells yeah! But then it took me to their website, which was nothing aligned with the ad. So and I remember and I got confused. So I am already overworked and busy. I am already frustrated and resentful that I've got to now spend more money on healthcare for my son, just because that's what we do. We don't, we do. But then he's also in pain and uncomfortable, and I want to solve his problem for him. So I'm doing what I know, which is, Google search. I did grow up in the era of the yellow pages, by the way, so I could have done that. And then for me to have wasted that time, that is problematic. You've lost me. If you waste my time, you have lost me. I ain't coming back.
Yeah. And you still have the problem. You need to find a podiatrist for your son. So now this podiatrist has lost you as a new patient, and it could have been a very long relationship. You could have referred, your friends and family to them. That's the other thing that I want to touch on. Like, one new patient is really valuable, because not only the initial appointment, like, if you're a very sharp practice owner and you know your numbers, like, okay, the average person comes for this amount of sessions, so their lifetime value as a patient is X dollars. And on top of that, a new patient usually refers 1.5 new patients to us. It's like just getting that new patient is everything. And you should be doing whatever you can, if you have the availability, to fill up your books, because one new patient can bring in so much more business. And not only that, you're genuinely helping them with whatever it is you offer, right?
Absolutely. So we are genuinely
that's a big
helping
thing,
them.
yeah.
And if we learn to become confident in expressing the value and how we help in our communities, then we all know most health professionals will tell you that they get more work by word of mouth. And that's a classic case in point. So, but if you spend the money wisely and get somebody to help you with your Google ad, so you bring in one client, and that one client might, you just said 1.5. So, what if you brought 3 clients in that week? Well, all of a sudden you've got 7 new clients that you get to consider, and that's someone's whole day. So it kind of multiplies nicely for each other. Yeah. So couple of things that we as health professionals get wrong. One is we think that ad itself is the end. Like, we just tick, I've got Google ads running, therefore everything will work. Well, they won't work unless you understand your keywords, your low-hanging fruits, understand competition. And then we really want your ad to match your website. Oh, and if you want to direct people to a book now button, please, can we find it? Help me find the book now button. Help me. So I want to be able to see it right in my face. When my tired, stressed out brain is not functioning, I need to be able to see your book now button. Yep.
Yeah. Another thing as well is that a lot of people don't really take a second look at is their website looks good on the desktop version. But on the mobile version, which what we find, like 70+% of the clicks we get are from mobile, it's impossible to find a book appointment button. Usually it's like, like the hamburger thing at the top, where it's like a menu. it'll be on there. But when someone clicks on your website from a Google ad, sometimes you can't find it unless you click that button, and a lot of people don't look there. And then they're just going to book with someone else, probably your competitor next door. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and you've just gone and you've got the click, so you've paid for the click, but you haven't been able to convert the client because it was really hard to find your book now button.
Yeah.
And it still horrifies me how many health professionals do not understand that everybody is doing their searching on a tablet or a mobile. Like I know I have gray hair. I know that I fit in the Gen X category. I like my laptop because my vision is going, but everyone else is using their tablet. And so if you haven't got a mobile responsive website, fix that. Just fix that. Please go fix that. Okay, so one of the things I also really appreciated for you was I said, hey, could we do an experiment? How about I give you some money for Google Ads and you run an ad campaign for my coaching business, and we can then talk about stats and data in this podcast. And you went, no, because your service is not a good fit for Google Ads. And I was so impressed, right? Because everybody's, who says that? Like that level of integrity for me was everything. Let me share that with you. But help us understand why you said no. Help me understand that again. Well, help the listeners understand.
Because the reason is for I guess like coaching clients. A lot of people don't have success with Google Ads because a lot of them have to, really, they're not the highest intent people. A lot of them are shopping around, looking at other coaches, and there's no point
Nice.
spending a lot on these clicks. And that's why I think I recommended actually doing Facebook ads
You
and
did.
Instagram ads for you, because you pay per impression. People go through your ecosystem, they'll get on your email list once they opt in, they see your content for days. Whereas on Google Ads, you can get people who are shopping around. You pay for the click and they're not going to do anything. Sometimes they won't even opt in to your ecosystem.
Nope.
So then you just paid for a click that leads to nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've noticed that email is not dead. I am not saying that. But the real estate of somebody's email address is becoming increasingly precious. Like I encourage people to do the unsubscribe thing all the time. It's just I don't like it when they unsubscribe from me. So I have another question for you now. So your campaigns on Facebook, you run campaigns directly to consult. Like, you don't worry about the fluffy bit in the middle where you're trying to build relationship with people. You just go, this is what we can do for you, book a consult. Tell me the methodology behind that. Like, why are you doing that when the rest of us feel like we need 7,000 steps in between?
It's pretty much just seeing what converts. And I've, spent a lot of advertising for myself even. And I've tested everything, and this was the best funnel that worked. So essentially I
Wow.
have, I just have a very simple ad
You do.
where I just say, hey, this is what we do. This is our offer. Here are the results we're able to get. If you're interested, type in your details in the next page. They type in their details, and then they can schedule a consult, or some of them don't, and then I ring them up and get schedule one over the phone.
Yeah, wow. So the thing I really like about that is I do it this way, Jo, because it works.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many of us, even if we're selling higher ticket items, so not a podiatry appointment or a psychology session, but if we wanted to sell, a 12-month coaching program, how many of it, which is where we feel like we need to be doing all this nurturing, right? You talk about our ecosystem. It's like, I'm going to send out all this content. It's got to be really high value, and people have got to have a chance to interact with me. And it used to be 7 times, and now it's 50 times. And now you just need to be omnipresent and everywhere. And then I see Matteo going, here's my ad, book a consult. And I'm like, what? That just totally flipped my brain. The other thing about you is your website is the simplest thing under the sun. Tell me about that. So what this is already telling me is that your ads are really simple. Your call to action is really simple. And then I come to your website and it's really simple. So my overworked brain is enjoying this. So tell me how you came up with such a simple website.
So before I actually had a way bigger website with all this info and these nice like images. And while I don't necessarily get a lot of my own clients for myself through like just organic website stuff, I
Mm.
realized that first of all, having a video on the
Yeah.
website is like almost game changing because not a lot of
Mm.
business owners do that. Like they'll just have a
Mm.
website. You don't even know who's behind the scenes. Like I
Mm.
make it super clear. I'm super upfront about my offer. You see me, you see my voice, you see my bit of my personality as well. So it's literally the video kind of like pre-frames people to see if they're a good
Nice.
fit and if they want to engage with my services. And then it's pretty much just I have a on my website, I have a 5 minute video,
Mm.
a book a call now button,
Mm.
and then just some case studies and results of my current clients. And that's it, literally. What I find is the simpler you make it, and this works for me. Okay. I'm
Mm.
not sure what
Yeah, yeah,
you guys are
yeah.
listening
No,
with.
it works for you. That's
That's a
okay.
big thing because what works for me may not work for you. And you
Mm.
kind of just have to do your own testing and see what really works. But yeah, I just realized that the simpler I get it, the video that I have pretty much explains everything.
Yes,
So
it
the video I
does.
had was what I used to have on my landing page, like all these images
Mm.
and all this text. And I realized we're in 2025 now. People have attention spans that are super short, like of a
Mm.
goldfish, because of TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube
Mm.
Shorts and stuff. And people don't want to read. I realize
No.
people would rather watch a video.
Mm. Yeah, they
So
do.
yeah,
But then I like my videos, but I need to read my captions.
yeah,
So that's
that's another
yeah,
thing.
but I have to do that. That's yeah, that's that my brain likes it that way. That's really cool. I think what I really appreciate and what has stunned me is just the simplicity of your process and the simplicity of your call to action. I think because so many we're smart people, like health professionals are smart, and we are managing our reputation all the time. There is just so many threats to our reputation all the time. There's systemic threats, there's peer threats, there's unhappy patient threats, there's the government, it's threatening. So we're kind of trying to make ourselves feel good and credible. And we do that by blasting out all of this, what we think is great content and great information. But since I've gotten to know you, I'm like, everything needs culling. We just need to cull everything. And I just need to get back to the simplicity of who do I serve? What do I help them do? And how do they get in touch with me? Yeah, I like you said at the beginning, it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is why I'm incredibly grateful for you. So question, this is a bit self-serving, this one. What's it been like being the sponsor of the Entrepreneurial Clinician Podcast?
It's been great. Working with you, Joe, has been super easy. You told me exactly what I needed to do,
Yeah.
and you presented me like your list, the content you have, all your profiles, LinkedIn, Facebook, and stuff, and you have quite a good audience there. And it's may not be the biggest, but it's like exactly your people, and it's
Yeah.
very niched. It's um, yeah, it pretty much what you do is so specific that that's why
Mm.
it's very high engagement, as you were talking about.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I guess that's what got me interested in the first place to even become a sponsor. And then when we talked about like the next steps and how it would look like. It was just very simple. You told me, all right, this is what I'll need you to do. You're I'll mention you in this podcast and this post here, and it was just very simple. It was kind of like a no-brainer for me to do, really.
Oh, nice. Thank you. There's been a bit of an extra benefit for you that you probably don't know about is that every week when I send out an email to my email list about the podcast, your name is always turning up. So it's like I wanted to test for my future sponsors. Where are you going to get the best return? Where are we going to get the best showcasing of you? And it is the emails. The emails is where we tend to
Email is
generate
not
those.
dead.
It's not dead.
It's
Email
not
is not
dead.
dead. No. So that's pretty cool for us to know now. Yeah. So if anyone was on the fence thinking about, is sponsorship worth it? What do you think it's been? People are going to want some ROI now. So you don't need to share financial information or anything like that. But what have you benefited from being in partnership with me?
So I've had people reach out to me
Yeah.
from your audience,
Yeah.
and they're saying, "Hey, I saw you on Joe's email. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Like, I
Yeah.
scheduled a time, and I'm super keen to chat with you." So that's pretty much it. I guess it was the fact that you have such a niche audience. We work in the same industry, providing different services. You're a coach, business coach. I'm more of just like a done for you, I guess, like marketing agency to help the healthcare practices get more patients. And we thought, hang on, we can partner up and we can get benefits from, your audience because they trust you and they know you. And it's very niche. It's healthcare practitioners. It's not just anyone ever, right? Like
No.
it's not necessarily just a personal brand of you. It's more like a personal brand of you working with healthcare practitioners and people in the industry. So as I said, it made sense for me to take part in this sponsorship. And I was able to get in touch with a handful of people that came directly from you who I wouldn't have otherwise been in touch with. And the good thing from that is, we were able to get good results for them. We were able to diagnose some other issues in their practice that they wouldn't have figured out if I didn't diagnose that for them.
Wow.
We can talk about Jasmine, who, we've been talking about these things, and she realized she needed to make these changes in her practice, and she wouldn't have known to do that, and probably would have spent months, or if not years, like not dealing with that problem, until she came across me.
Or she's sinking all of this money into Google advertising, going, but it's supposed to work, but that those missing links at the end, or those missing pieces that make it easy for people to book. So that's really generous. Thank you for doing that, because I did say to you in the beginning, it's like, I am very, very protective of my people. They trust me enormously. You ruin that trust for me, and you've got me to deal with.
Yeah. And the other thing was I was offering a complete free trial of our services. So not only am I confident I'm going to get them a good result, but they can try it out for free. And if it's not for them, and maybe the slight chance that we couldn't crack Google ads in their specific industry, in their specific market, then at least they tried, and at least they didn't spend money doing it themselves, making all these mistakes. Yeah. So I'd rather as Jasmine said, she said getting the information was very, very key, because she would have done this herself. She would have tried all these other stuff and not realizing that there were other issues that we need to tackle first. So
So explain the free trial and how it works, because it doesn't mean no money down, but explain how your free trial works, because it's a really good deal.
The offer is very simple. Essentially, we're going to set up and manage your Google ads. Actually, that being said, I do some, if it makes sense, do like Facebook ads. I will do the free trial for Facebook ads as well, but mainly it's Google ads because of what I said, the high intent people. So essentially we will set up your ad account. We will write all your ads and run it 100% free of charge. Of course, the client needs to cover the ad spend. So I guess the reason why people take part in this trial and they are willing to spend the ad spend is because they would have done it themselves, or they would have gone with, let's say, another marketer or freelancer who would have charged something to them upfront, not knowing if it was going to work or not. So it's kind of like they were going to do it anyway, so why not get an expert like me to do it, and they can just try it out, right? There's no obligation to continue, and the reason why I'm able to do that is because people do continue with me after the trial.
Yes.
And I'm super 100% happy with people. I understand not everyone is going to continue with me after the trial, and I would have done all this free work, but I'm 100% happy to do that, because for the people that are continuing with me, that allows me to do this free work. And this is my business, this is my full-time job, as you can say. And I'm able to do that, and I'm very privileged, I'm very appreciative of my position for that. So that's pretty much how the trial works. I go over like what we're seeing. I usually give daily reports of me actually going into your ad account and screen recording what's going on. This is what we're seeing. These are the search terms. This is how much a click costs and things like that. And on top of that, I even help consult them on their website. I don't just set up the Google Ads part. There's a thing called conversion tracking where you need to see if your Google Ads actually ends up becoming a new patient or like a call book. So I help them. I'm not sure if you guys know these terms, but Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager. You need all that set up because we want to know exactly who came from our Google ads. If they came from word of mouth, or if they came from a referral, or like from your social media, then it doesn't make sense to attribute that new conversion to Google ads. So we have to make sure whatever happens on Google ads gets tracked directly on Google ads, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's,
so
I mean,
lots
it's
of
just
many things. Yeah,
there is, and it's just smart business. But if you're not watching this on on YouTube and you're listening to this, my face kind of just started going, oh, Fed income, more data I've got to track. And I just automatically went back to the only subject I failed at university, which was statistics, which again just highlights for me that if I want to encourage people to fill spots quickly, my whole approach to coaching people around this now is changing, because it's like, how much can we spend this week? So now that we've got like $33 a day, it's like, if we could spend that for a week and it filled you up for the next month, would that be a good spend? And you do the math and people are like, why am I not doing this? It's like, because you didn't know it was possible. Because you've had people like me being very unhelpful going, paid advertising doesn't work. Well, it does when you know what you're doing.
Yeah. And another big thing is, I touched on this earlier, but I just want to get back to it, is, the lifetime value. I get on lots of calls with healthcare practitioners, and I ask them, what are your numbers? How much is one session with a patient? They tell me like $150. Okay. And how many on average do they do? Some do 1, some do 10, some do 50. On average, let's say it's like 10. So that's $1,500. That's what a new patient is worth you. Okay, now let's add the referrals. It's pretty hard to track, but just if you could guess, the average person refers me 1 new person. So then the lifetime value of that patient is actually like $3,000. So if it costs you, this is very high. Like, you shouldn't be getting these numbers, but let's say it costs you $300 to acquire a new patient on Google Ads. That's potentially $3,000 in lifetime value. So it's a 10 times return on your investment. Obviously, that's just revenue-wise. It's not including overheads and all that. But just on the ad spend point of view, in the long term, it makes perfect sense. And this is how the healthcare practices who, have zero availability because they're fully booked and, open up new locations around the city or even the country, that's how they're doing it. They're spending money on paid advertising, usually on Google and Facebook, because they understand these numbers. Sometimes you may be in the red. I don't want to scare anyone off here, but sometimes you could be in the red for a couple weeks. But as these new patients keep booking in, it's going to be worth it in the long run. But yeah, that being said, you need to understand your numbers. I recently turned down a healthcare practice who they were located in like the CBD, and a lot of their patients were just people traveling. This is in Melbourne. Like people coming to Melbourne for work, and they were just coming in for 1 session at all. So I said, okay, it doesn't really make sense for us to run Google ads, because if they're only coming in for 1 session, it's like low-key not worth it. So I don't want to take them on, and I say you have to either find a way to get more of these patients, the high quality patients who are willing and able to come in multiple times, or just try a different marketing strategy, really. It's all about knowing your numbers, looking at the math behind it, return on like how much you spend, how much actually goes in, your conversion rates in between. So there's lots of that things which we help with.
Yeah. So for all of you who just tuned out because Matteo used the word math and he said, know your numbers, and you've all gone like, I used to, which was, oh my God, I can't. At the end of the day, I'm just exhausted and I can't do that. That's why we need to get smarter about this. If we are genuinely going to make ourselves last the distance, then we have to get smarter about not burning out with stuff that we actually need to be investing our time in, and get smarter about how we use the revenue resources in our business so that we can be paying for advertising and finding people who do it really well for us. Oh, Matteo, thank you so much. This has been a really great conversation, and I know people are going to be like, can we talk to him again? So come and join us in the Future Proofing Health Professionals Facebook group, because we are going to do a Facebook Live. And Matteo doesn't know this yet, but I have just decided what we're doing. We're going to go and take a look at someone de-identified ads account, so we can actually see the mechanics of one. I think that would be really helpful. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. So if people wanted to reach out to you today, what is the best way for them to do that?
Probably just go on my website, practiceconquest.com, not .au, it's just .com, and then just book in a call with me. My offer is very clear. I have a video of me explaining exactly what it is we do. And yeah, we offer a range of different services. The main thing we do is Google Ads because of the reasons I just said in this podcast. However, if you're looking for something else as well, it's still worth a chat. Worst case scenario, you get more information, really.
Yeah.
No loss.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I've got more work to do. But I know the work that needs doing. That is huge. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your support of us as health professionals, for your willingness to come and talk and give up your time again on this podcast today. My name is Jo Muirhead, but you already knew that. I want to say a really big thank you to Matteo and Practice Conquest for being our very first sponsor and for taking the time to help us understand how we can actually make paid advertising work for us. So until the next season of the Entrepreneurial Clinician Podcast, I am going to go and take a break. I'm going to go and find some more sponsors for us so that we can keep this podcast going. So if you're not on my email list, please come do that, because I can actually create content and help you stay engaged, informed, and become really healthy in the way that you do your work. Until then, it is goodbye for now. Go be your awesome self.